already a good brand of games.
I know, right? Hello, everyone.
But
Welcome to 12-Sided Guy and I's first kind of co-op co-play into the YouTube realm. So, for those of you that don't know, probably yesterday, because I'm doing this super freaking quick and dirty, and I gotta always remember to stare at the camera, not at everything else that's going on. We released a podcast episode that you guys could actually see. And you saw all of us looking pretty good, except for Moo, because Moo was having a couple of wardrobe malfunctions that day. Excuse me. But I said to myself, fucking get your ass into gear and go ahead and throw on some content onto the Nerdgasm Inc. YouTube channel. So I went ahead.
That was wardrobe self-sabotage.
That's right.
She kamikaze that. She's just like, I'm blowing this stream up.
That's right. Kabooms. Or maybe kaboobs. But yeah, so I went ahead and I tried to get a hold of the other members of Nerdgasm, of course, because I'm a scatterbrain. A lot of people were like, well, you can't just spring this up on us, like, with 5 minutes, to go. And I was like, well, then, let's go. And 12 was like, hell yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, hey, himbo life, ride or die, baby.
That's right.
Embrace your inner himbo. You'll get so much more going, Merlin.
I know, right?
That beard. They love the beard.
The beard.
The white.
That's right. So there's, I've dabbled with the older version of this. It was just called 60 Seconds, but like most nice companies, when they came out with a newer version, the company was like, hey, you bought our old version, take this for free. And I was like, hell yeah. So we have
That's how you get loyalty.
That's right. So this is technically 60 Seconds Re-Atomized. There is technically a sequel that takes place in space where you're an astronaut and you get to deal with like alien planets and all kinds of stuff. 60 Parsecs is the name of that one. And maybe if this does well, we'll check it out. Who knows? Maybe I'll go ahead and have each member of the Nerdgasm Inc. crew stop in and we'll see who can survive the apocalypse best with Merlin.
I'm 4 centimeters too tall to be an astronaut.
Let's see now. The apocalypse. I think this is, the full experience where you scavenge around your house for supplies, survive the post-apocalypse in your fallout shelter, etc., etc. So let's go. We can be Ted or Dolores, and we'll go ahead and go with normal difficulty, which is the Fat Man. And we'll go ahead and be Ted for this run. So yeah, we have to grab people and supplies and throw them down into the bunker before the bomb falls, which is like 10 seconds. Alright, well, we definitely want the supers. And bing! And then grab the lock. And then we gotta grab the checkers, or else we're gonna go insane. Grab the radio. Okay, throw everything down in the thing. Alright, that's all in there. Let's grab some water. The gas mask. And maybe we should grab some family members, too. Where's our family, 12? We gotta get our wife and our kids. What? Half the time is gone. Children? Oh, fucking... Children and wife? Wife? We have to propagate the species. Come with me. Children? I don't know where the children are. 12. What are you doing? You were no help whatsoever. You didn't tell me where the kids were. You didn't tell me to grab the soup. We died. We didn't even make it to the shelter. Our wife made it, though. I guess that's one thing.
I am muted this whole time. Listen, man. I am a himbo. We've established this. I've muted this whole time, you two. Just chatting away. Going like, oh, hey, there's a kid. Oh, so we died, and it's my fault.
We died. But our wife survived, so, I mean, you know. One female could theoretically carry the human race into the next,
Right, wow, that's... So first run. This is our first run.
That's right.
This is totally not
speed run to atomic death. Got it. I think my biggest issue was I stayed in one place for like the 10-second pre-time because I was like, I want that, and that. All right, so now there's our daughter with the tuba. There's our wife and Jimmy. Okay, cool. Let's save the kids first thing. Well.
Yeah,
all right, Jimmy and the wife, let's go.
Dolores will likely eat us. We're hefty boys, so Dolores will eat us. Let's... Oh, only 4 slots. Okay, I see.
Yep, okay.
And don't grab the gun. You're going to be in a vault. You want medical. You want water.
Yep.
Oh, kid takes up 3 slots. Okay, that kid. All right.
Yeah, she's a little tubbers, but that's okay. We love her all the same. We're all about body positivity.
Oh no, for
here.
sure. Just in terms of like inventory management, I'm like, hey, is body shaming built into
are those
the game?
magazines? Can I take those? I can't. Okay.
Wow, it's a one-room. Oh yeah, you better. What is food?
Oh,
yeah. Ooh, axe.
Give me that.
There you go. Yeah, just get in. No, just get into the hole. Oh.
Just made it around that corner.
That's some Fallout 4 time in there. That's going down the elevator when the blast should.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of, I would love to at some point. I'd ideally be a player, but whatever. I'll run a GM PC. So far, near as I can tell, I have been a streamed member of every game of the Spilled Ale #not sponsored.
Oh yeah.
Fallout hack for D&D.
You do mention that.
And I would like to continue that legacy on Nerdgasm with being the D&D Fallout baby.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Day 1. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. We vaguely remember stashing some things in the shelter because there was no room for them upstairs. Turns out being messy can really work in your favor. +1 ammo. Hey, look what we found in the suitcase we grabbed. We grabbed upstairs. Good thing we didn't unpack our holiday luggage. We needed that lock. We don't have that much food. No one's complaining yet, but even canned soup might become an extravagant dish quite soon. There's just barely enough water for everyone. We will have to ration it strictly.
Oh yeah, I'm already planning who I'm eating first.
Yeah. Well, since we just got in here, I don't think anybody actually needs to eat or drink. Let's assume we all had a meal today. So, confined spaces are not a very friendly environment, and we quickly got into an argument over some trivial things. If this keeps on, we might find ourselves in a nasty place. Alright, day 2. We're already doing better than last time.
No, this is our first time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Day 2. We stopped arguing, but for how long? Ted is fine. It's always better when things are calm. Luckily, nothing new happened to Mary Jane today. If there was anything to report about Dolores, this is where it would have been written. and Timmy seems okay, as much as he can be in our current situation. So we've got our son Timmy, daughter Mary Jane, and wife Dolores, and we're Ted.
Can we appreciate how much Timmy is basically just, like, from what I can tell, this kid's a cat. I don't know what he's staring at.
Yeah.
He has been staring at that corner for, like, there's ghosts or a bug. I don't know. He's just a cat.
Something. Time to ration supplies. I mean, what is it? The rule of threes or something like that? 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 minutes without air?
Yep. Oh, God. That's a flashback. Oof.
Is it 3 or 2? I always get that mixed up.
3.
3, okay. All right. The contamination of our town is still strong. Scavenging in these conditions could result in radiation sickness. Should we start preparing an expedition for tomorrow? Well, Mary Jane is more than ready to go out and scavenge, and Timmy is in good health and full of optimism. Ted is vigorous enough to withstand the hazards of the wasteland. Yeah, we'll risk it. Mutated rodents. Oh, do I need to press other stuff, or can I? Okay, no, that's fine. Mutated rodents are attacking our supplies. We're not sure if they're rats, feral bunnies, or just mutated hamsters. All of these options are pretty grim. We could use spare ammunition or something else to get rid of every one of these pests. Use the axe.
Yeah, I feel like firing a gun off in either way. I feel like having those weapons down there at all. I'm like, okay, which one of our family members is gonna? Because Ted's a hefty guy.
Yeah.
Where are the food source?
Yeah. Our cans are saved. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're still top of the food chain. Good for us. Where is water when Ted needs it? Getting something to drink from Mary Jane sounds like the right idea. Dolores will not last long without water, and we can't leave Timmy without water for too long. Got it. Alright, so everybody can have a little bit of water for right now. Alright, enough sitting around. It's time to visit the service and look for some additional supplies. Maybe something survived the blast. Maybe someone is still alive. So we'll send Ted. Ted should obviously take the gas mask.
Yes. Absolutely. And this is why you want to store things like duct tape and plastic sheeting if you have an emergency shelter, because radioactive dust is going to be your serious issue after the blast.
Mm-hmm. So, Ted with the gas mask in the billiard room. Oh, wait, wrong game.
Speaking of gas masks,
Yeah.
the one we have in game is a Soviet-style one, a Russian-style one.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was
yes.
British.
No, the British is the side vent.
Oh, okay.
Right. The one we see on screen here is actually one of the most common ones you can get online. For any of our viewers, I gotta say, be careful. Get the contemporary ones, because if you're ordering like the older ones, those have... Wow, I'm blanking on the name. We used
asbestos?
to insulate with it. Yes, they have asbestos in them. Don't just immediately throw out that canister.
Interesting. Day 4. Ted left for the surface. We hope he'll be back soon. Equipment taken, the gas mask. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Dolores is no longer thirsty. And Timmy is no longer thirsty. Time to ration supplies. I think we could go ahead and go another day or so without feeding the group. We were never huge fans of mushrooms, but with a colony of them growing on one of the walls, we've changed our loyalties. We're all about mushrooms now. Should we eat them? 12.
Okay, so from like an actual survival standpoint in real life, no, you've got bigger issues if you've got mushrooms growing on your walls.
I
As
mean,
for
what are the
game,
odds that they're poisonous? That's a trick question. The answer is
Well,
50-50. Either they are poisonous or they aren't.
well, the odds depends on where you are. Right. Let's
Rural, urban America.
underground
Suburban,
like this,
even.
honestly. Underground like this, honestly, pretty likely that you don't want to eat those from a survival standpoint.
But we're
I feel like
starving,
the
12.
game, just what I was gonna say is, I feel like the game wants us to eat the mushrooms. I feel like we're gonna have a trip or something. So I say eat the mushrooms.
I'm not going to eat the mushrooms.
You petty, you Tom Petty. You.
That's right, call me Petty Mayonnaise. Alright. We may be hungry, but there are just some things we will never eat. Wall fungus is one of them. It's impressive how well Mary Jane is handling this situation. She looks fine today. Dolores is fine as well.
Mellow, I imagine.
Yeah. As much as anyone can be fine and well in this tiny shelter, and no news is good news. There's nothing new going on with Timmy. Time to ration supplies. Well, everybody's doing fine. They're not hungry. They're not thirsty. Let's keep pushing on. There are only so many things you can do in a tiny bunker, so we thought, hey, why not play some games? They're not just for kids, you know. This is true. Luckily, we have a checkers board.
Yeah, I feel like Nerdgasm is the epitome of games are not just for kids.
True. Look over here. There's a two-headed cow drawn on the wall.
Oh, see, I was like Ed with a weird squiggle, the E, and then the back of the cow is the D, or no, the B, I suppose in this case. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm terrible.
Yeah,
at
one
cursive.
head, two head, the udders. All right, day 6.
We need two-headed cow moo art.
I know, right? The two-headed Brahmin of Moo. We played hide and seek. The longest round we were able to play lasted for around 10 seconds, and that was only because the lights went out for a moment. Can we spare some water? Mary Jane has been asking about it all day. Water is all Dolores wants, and Timmy has been talking about nothing other than water. He should drink some. Yep, day 6. It's about time to go ahead and ration the water.
I love that we now have these. They're basically like these. Don't ask why I have a Tide Pod handy, audience.
Oh yeah, the water with
not,
the biodegradable
the capsules.
Yeah.
You can they're fantastic.
That's
I
so
love
interesting.
those
Don't
as
eat
like a
Tide Pods
survival
though.
tool?
That's bad, everyone.
Yeah. Don't ask why I have one available. I don't know. It's just on my desk.
Mary Jane has been awful silent today. This is very unlike her. Should we try talking to her? What do you think, 12?
I'm sure she told us she's fine. And as we know, don't trust it when they say they're fine.
Very true. So we should talk to her then. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
This is where we get eaten. Oh,
Right.
yeah, see, we're gone. Eaten.
Well, no, don't forget, Ted is out on exploration duty.
I know. I like the mystery.
Yeah. Day 7. Nothing solves problems better than an honest conversation over a hot beverage.
Man, does that sound like our podcast?
I know, right?
sometimes?
On brand. We don't have the latter, but talking alone seems to do the trick. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty, but Mary Jane is quite hungry. It has been a week since we've eaten. Dolores is no longer thirsty, but Dolores would really love to eat something. Timmy is no longer thirsty, and Timmy should eat something. So we can go ahead and spare a little bit of food now, I think.
Yeah, see, I feel terrible for how, like, I'm a big guy. I like to eat.
Yeah.
I apologize, others trapped in the vault with me.
All right. Our ammunition is missing. There's no way it was stolen, so it has to be here somewhere. We need to find it. But we don't have a flashlight.
Why is it not with Ted and the gun out?
Because we can only take one item, and we opted for... Hey, Ted's back! Ooh, our gas mask is a bit worse for the wear, though. All right,
Ted
day...
looks like he's on his third divorce.
Right. It was too dark to find those tiny bullets without a flashlight. They aren't lost. Technically, they're still in the shelter. Technically. Ted has safely returned from his voyage to the surface. The silent wasteland had at least one resident who managed quite well. It was a proud-looking monkey. We had no idea where it came from. The zoo, maybe? It seemed very friendly. After getting a few pats on the back and playing fetch, it started following us. While we explored one of the streets, our monkey companion ran away, only to come back moments later carrying a can of food. It couldn't open it himself, but it was happy to share it with us. +2 soup. Wonderful. And at one point during our expedition, the monkey started making weird sounds and digging in front of us with a stick. A quick investigation revealed a few bottles of water. No one even tried to open them. The same couldn't be said about those bottles of booze lying next to them. So +1 water. Not bad.
So here's an interesting little survival tidbit, I suppose, is if you don't have a can opener, but you have access to like a sidewalk, it takes some doing, but you can open a can that way.
Just kind of putting it on the ledge and kind of stomping?
You just rub.
Oh,
Hard and a
okay.
lot. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go all, what was the name of that one movie? It had, it was about the, like the skinheads in America or something like that. Bite the curb!
You are amazed how little that narrows it down.
I know, right? It had, the guy that played the Incredible Hulk. In the movie, not in the
Lou
series.
Ferrigno?
No. The other one.
Oh,
the skinny guy.
2006 or whatever, yeah.
From, Fight Club.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I forget his name.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking, you just kind of line it up and then just...
Yeah, no, not a clue on that one. Which is weird because I've seen that and I should know this.
Yeah, I feel like
But,
it hadn't... Yeah, I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah. Damn it! Our gas mask was damaged during the expedition, so that's gone forever right now. This last expedition got us thinking. Maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow? Of course, most of the automobiles available are completely burnt out, but if we find a solid base and scavenge enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We'd better keep an eye out for those on future expeditions. Ted is hungry, Ted is really tired. Mary Jane is no longer hungry, Dolores is no longer hungry, and Timmy is no longer hungry. So Ted, you can go ahead and have a little bit of soup. Because we had some. And, you saved us out there. Our neighborhood is still highly radioactive. Trips to the surface are a big risk to our health right now. And we don't have a gas mask. So I don't think we should send another expedition right away.
God, no. Like, as soon as it's in the shelter, any of that radioactive dust, you're screwed.
Alright, so no expedition for tomorrow. If there's anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation, it's our government.
Now, so, like, you could see the look from Merlin, audience. I'm sure you can tell Merlin's got feelings on that.
You can badmouth them all you want, but that probably means you're either a naysayer or a commie. Alright, this was during the Well, this is set in the 50s or whatever, so.
Yeah, listen here, you naysayer.
That's right. Nay, I say
honestly,
nay. Goodness,
Honestly,
the sun's coming
homesteaders,
out.
survivalists, and your government, those are the three people you want to be aware of. If you're ever in a situation like this, which, with the world lately,
Right.
if you've got homesteaders or survivalists in your neighborhood, make friends.
Yeah. We're good citizens. We've been paying our taxes regularly, so we're sure Uncle Sam is coming to get us. Well, except that one time when we... Never mind. The government people are coming, and we should keep our ears and eyes open for any sign from them. But we don't have a radio.
My headcanon is that this family was like secretly the Ozarks before this game. There's just like
Did you hear that, 12?
Thousands. I did. The phone, yeah. At least
Day
I hope
nine.
I heard that.
Yeah. If there is one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio on regular basis. Use a radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that, or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Ted is hungry. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Ted should drink something. Didn't we just give Ted some soup? So I don't understand why he's hungry. Water is what Mary Jane needs most right now.
You can drink soup, but it's always one or the other, right? Like you either drink soup or you eat soup.
Right, I guess that's true. There has to be some water left. Dolores should get it, and some water for Timmy would be nice. Alright, let's go ahead and give everybody some water, I guess.
Yes, be prepared to recycle your urine in the future, folks. I know it sucks, but...
Yeah. There's also...
It's a handy...
Yeah, if you get trapped with salt water, it's like... Is it 3-to-1 or 2-to-1? Where you could cut your water with...
2-to-1.
Yeah, like you can cut your salt water with regular water, and it'll still hydrate you, but it's not gonna over dehydrate you with the salt content.
Yeah, yes, I believe it's 2-to-1, and funny enough, electrolytes, like super oversimplification, basically salt, right? So there's your Gatorade is just fancy salt water.
Pretty much. It looks like the area is still irradiated. Going to the wasteland right now is unsafe unless you don't mind getting sick. So we'll go ahead and skip again. Ring ring. There we were, thinking we would never hear a telephone signal again when suddenly a phone starts ringing from somewhere outside. We figured it's the phone booth across the street. Should someone go answer it? Nah, I mean, it's still irradiated out there. We can't risk it.
Who's calling a phone booth, but how do you're in a vault. If you can hear that phone booth, you are in way more trouble.
That's right. That vault ain't doing shit. Day 10. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. Ted is hungry. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Ted isn't thirsty anymore. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Dolores is no longer thirsty. And Timmy is no longer thirsty. Hey, there's good old Mary Jane playing the saxophone tuba phone.
Well, is this Mary Jane or is this Dolores? Which one's which?
Dolores is the tall redhead. Mary Jane is the daughter.
Ah. Well, that's kind of adorable.
Alright, time to ration supplies. Everybody's good for now. Our neighborhood is still highly radioactive.
Why was none of this stuff down here before?
Hey, it's always, hey, I should probably put something in the bunker. Hey, I should probably do this. And then all of a sudden shit goes to hell and it's like, oh, fuck, we didn't do nothing.
That's true. I've been behind for like 8 years now, so I get that.
But yeah, neighborhood is still highly radioactive, so we're not going to risk it. Let's go ahead and wait a little bit longer. When we ran out of songs, short poems you remember from school, and funny silent movie quotes, we decided we are just a step away from going insane. We have to do something or else we might start thinking about the virtues of a welfare state. Imagine that. What do? Shoot somebody. No, let's just play checkers.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Silent movie quotes, but we make ourselves a coloring book.
That could be interesting.
And cheap to produce.
True. Day 11.
Oh, I hear the
Geiger counter
going off.
A game of checkers, a cup of coffee, and a newspaper is all a 1950s man needs. There's no coffee down here, and the paperboy probably got blown up. Yay, checkers! Ted's stomach is rumbling, and Ted still hasn't recovered his energy. Dolores would really love to eat something. Timmy is very hungry. Mary Jane is feeling safe. Who wouldn't in this coffin-sized shelter?
So, headcanon is the paperboy has become a courier. And he's just up there blasting mutants and delivering papers.
Right? The paperboy is the courier from Fallout New Vegas.
There you go.
The contamination of our town is still strong. Scavenging in these conditions could result in radiation sickness. So we'll skip another one. Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah, so we were smart not to go outside because radioactive dust. Go figure.
The trash can is becoming full of empty soup cans, and that unmentionable bucket is overflowing. Both of them are attracting strangely glowing, suspiciously big insect wildlife. Roaches weren't that big before the war, were they? Rad roaches. We don't have any bug spray, and we don't have a scout handbook.
So here's the scary thing about how accurate that potentially is roaches don't live terribly long, but they breed like you wouldn't believe. Right?
Gotcha.
So evolution, I suppose you could say. Right,
yeah, their DNA would adapt
work.
quicker just because of the lineage constantly.
It wouldn't be too long before you have giant irradiated cockroaches.
Goodness.
As a real thing.
All right.
I went like crazy with the research for Fallout mod.
Oh.
I contacted the
Hey,
Fallout
buddy.
Museum. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's accurate. Wow. Props to this game. That is accurate.
Oh my. That thing is huge. That's what she said. And there goes another one. Roaches everywhere. We're doomed. We already feel all dirty. Ted is hungry. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Where is water when Ted needs it? Mary Jane is very thirsty and has to drink something, and Mary Jane's diet could use a little food. Dolores is no longer hungry, and if there's one thing we need, it's water for Dolores. And Timmy is no longer hungry, but we can't leave Timmy without water for too long. Alright, so everybody get some water.
I am now Googling because I'm curious. Because this game has sparked that. Can you eat cockroaches?
I mean, yes, but radioactive
I'm
cockroaches?
Wow, that's different. Yes, that's gonna kill you. But cockroaches, I'm curious now because this game has inspired that. I never. Weirdly enough, Fallout didn't inspire me to question if I can eat cockroach, but this game did.
Our water is getting low, though, which is a problem. So I think we have to send out a scavenging party here soon. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. Mary Jane used to be cheerful, but lately she is feeling a bit down. She clearly misses her music lessons. She keeps humming her favorite classical pieces, imitating the sound of tuba. She said she would die for a chance to play it again, which may very well happen if we let her out of the shelter. If this would help to bring a smile to her weary face, maybe we should consider letting her out for a short walk around the house above. No.
Yeah, listen. A radiation poisoning or cancer, terrible ways to go out.
Oh
Not worth the
boy,
risk.
Mary Jane's crazy. She thinks she's a chicken.
Yeah.
Risking your life for a tuba? Madness. If it was a guitar or at least a trumpet. But a tuba? Playing the tuba won't put soup on the table. Mary Jane isn't happy, but she needs to realize how pointless this idea was. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Ted is still mighty tired and needs more time to recover his strength. Ted is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane's no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is no longer hungry. And Mary Jane went nuts. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy is no longer thirsty. Time to ration supplies. Alright. Yep. Looks like we're going to have to plan an expedition.
Yeah, I do not yes, it was blonde right now on the camera, I suppose, strawberry blonde. But listen, I identify as a ginger. I do not want to be trapped in a vault with two gingers and not have food.
Yeah. Whoever designed this fallout shelter was a genius. But we can't really tell if that green stuff dripping down from the pipe is an included feature. We should probably try doing something about it with whatever we brought down here. Alright, suitcase it is.
But hey, dripping, that's weirdly a plus, because that suggests water flow.
Alright, we grabbed our old suitcase and shoved it under the pipe. Seems like all the liquid that was supposed to leak out did so during the night. On the bright side, we don't have to worry about the smell making us sick anymore. The downside, our suitcase is completely ruined. Ted is hungry. Ted is still mighty tired and needs more time to recover his strength. Mary Jane still acts quite peculiarly. Wow, that's a hard word. Not the happy, bright young lady she used to be. Everything seems okay with Dolores, and Timmy might not look like it, but he's a strong young boy. He's doing just fine. Ration supplies.
You just read the day. You do you, boo.
Everybody's good. Alright, it's about time we choose someone to scavenge the remains of our town in search of supplies. Who will it be? Do we send out Dolores, who is an adult and probably knows what she's doing to an extent? I think we definitely should not send Mary Jane because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. And then there's young Timmy. Who? I don't know.
See this, for some reason, and I don't know why this is, my brain says Timmy. My logic says Dolores, but... I mean, you pick between the two.
I think we have to let Timmy become a man.
They're expendable. We
Timmy?
can make more of them.
Take the fire axe with you for protection. Whoops.
I'm okay with that.
Or we could send the gun.
Oh, but do we have any ammo? Because I know we were missing our ammo.
Look, the outsiders don't know that we don't have ammo.
That's true. I like that. I'm okay with that.
Bye, Timmy.
Easier to ration if it doesn't come back.
Right?
Which I realize sounds terrible, but...
Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. Ted's stomach is rumbling, and finally, Ted has rested. If Ted doesn't drink anything, he won't last long. Mary Jane still isn't completely sane, and it fills us with worry, but there's not much we can do. Can we spare some water? Mary Jane has been asking about it all day. And if there's one thing we need, it's water for Dolores.
Yeah.
We'll push it one more day. Damn it! These cockroaches aren't playing around. They're very territorial, and they're leaving us less and less space every day. We need to do something about it. No, and we just sent the rifle out with Timmy.
God. Listen, if they're big enough that you need to consider a rifle versus an axe, you're in trouble.
Living with roaches can't be too bad, right? Even if they're stealing our pillows, socks, and wallets. Why would roaches even need wallets? That smell is horrible. Ted is hungry, and Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now. Mary Jane still isn't completely sane. It fills us with worry, but there's not much we can do. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. Mary Jane is quite hungry. Dolores will not survive without water any longer, and Dolores has not eaten for a while.
Well, so we're taking care of Dolores, obviously. Look, I don't care how many arms or legs, depending on who you ask, they have. There's a certain size. I am fist fighting a cockroach.
Yeah.
Just like that is happening. It's on the bucket list now.
All right, everybody can go ahead and eat today. Hopefully that soup will give them a little bit extra oomph. And then the last bit of water is for Dolores. It's been a while. We don't know much about what's happening on the surface. If we only had a chance to tune into some emergency radio broadcast and learn a thing or two. Timmy, save us!
Telling you, man, the courier.
They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without any clue what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave and he needs to get a drink right now. But Ted isn't hungry anymore. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. Mary Jane isn't mentally stable. She seems to have lost the ability to reason normally, but Mary Jane is no longer hungry. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Dolores is no longer hungry. Time to ration supplies.
So we send out Mary Jane when Timmy comes back. Because Mary Jane's crazy, and she'll have, like, different logic.
That's right.
So we'll lead her to, like, a stash of food.
We've discussed everything we could, and no one is willing to chat anymore. The silence is really disturbing. We should do something before we start talking to ourselves instead.
I'm absolutely that person that just, like, talks to myself.
Oh! Day 18. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Too many days without water took their toll. Ted died of dehydration. When Mary Jane found out she is not getting a single drop of water, she got furious. She stormed out into the wasteland, shouting over her shoulder that we'll regret this, and that she's getting her water one way or another. We are seriously terrified right now. Dolores is really tired.
I mean, we can't... I mean, this makes this easy, I suppose.
I mean, she's just tired. She's not hungry or thirsty.
I guess.
We can keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little bunker, or we can start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Who would have thought the Reds would ruin such a lovely neighborhood? We could do it on our own, the escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. However, there might be someone out there who can help us. Let's keep our ears and our eyes open.
So this is always interesting commentary.
I think Timmy's back.
Oh, please. Oh.
Oh, Timmy.
Look by the cow.
I know, there's a little robot cowboy or something. If there is one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. First option sounds a bit more sane. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. Plus, the gun is still in good condition. Good for us. We used to go to the waterfront before all of this happened. It was a great place to enjoy time with your family and watch ships, boats, and sailors. We were really excited to find one of our favorite yachts a few blocks away from our house. We found it a bit mysterious that it is now moored in the middle of the crossroads, but there are plenty of reasonable explanations for that. We found a few soup cans in the yacht's cargo hold. It seems rich people like soup too. Soup is great. We love soup. Since the ocean is pretty salty, keeping a supply of drinkable water on board was a pretty reasonable precaution to take. Now it's reasonable for us to take it all with us. Yes, plus to water. We window shopped nearby parking lots for a vehicle that wasn't completely burnt out. Unfortunately, we found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions will be more lucky. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here, and water is all Dolores wants. Timmy is very hungry, Timmy is really tired, and Timmy fell sick. Well, we can go ahead and
Dolores
heal
is
Timmy.
staying up all night because she's thirsty. Welcome to Nerdgasm.
Yeah. Everybody can have a little bit of food and a little bit of water for right now. And nobody is in any state to go for an expedition, so we're going to have to wait a little bit for that. We didn't expect to get a phone call so soon after the atomic bomb drop, yet here we are. We can clearly hear a phone ringing outside. Must be the public phone booth on the other side of the street. Should someone go answer it? No.
So this is twice now, and we're already in a bad state. Like, we're going to die either way. I say, check it out. Except you've already done the thing.
Except I've already made my choice. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped, and it was pretty annoying for all of us. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy is very hungry. Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. He needs a few days to rest, and Timmy was cured. I don't know why Timmy's hungry. We just fed him.
Timmy PTSD. Right? Like, he's the future Rick Grimes.
It seems that for every cockroach we squash with our boots, 2 others take its place. It's time to do something about it before we completely get overrun. Shoot him in the head.
Eat them.
Hey, I think we got the roaches. We have defeated the insidious roaches and driven them away. Their nests are ours. That should teach them a lesson. Dolores needs more time to rest, and she seems exhausted. Timmy should eat something, and Timmy still hasn't rested.
I don't know why. I'm just picturing, like, just dancing around a fire. Victory of the roach nest.
That's right. Jump, jump, da da ba 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 ba. Jump, jump, ba da ba ba.
Oh man, I miss the old school Ewoks.
Timmy got back to the shelter from his expedition and looked fine, but it turned out he had hurt his hand on a piece of rusty metal and the wound was infected. Doesn't look like it's healing up. We have to patch it. Timmy.
I mean, you have to.
Have you ever seen the Evil Dead movies?
Listen, if Timmy hasn't, we're not raising Timmy right. Like, that's...
Maybe we just cauterized the wound with the blade. Timmy was very brave about the idea of cleaning up his wound with a heated axe blade. Ah, see? It was a bit
Like I
painful.
said, if he hasn't seen those movies, we haven't raised him right.
Yeah.
Those movies are fantastic.
They're great. It was a bit painful, but it was soon over. The axe is in no shape to be used again, but Timmy seems much better. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here, and there has to be some water left. Dolores should get it. Dolores is pretty fatigued, and Timmy should eat something. He is a growing boy. Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. He needs a few days of rest. How about getting Timmy something to drink? He's not looking well. Alright, everybody get some water. Timmy, you can have a little bit more soup. Day 22? Yeah, I mean, there's nobody that's in any state to go outside. We've been wondering...
So,
yeah.
So, favorite soup?
Favorite soup in general?
Or favorite stew? Because what is not a stew if not a thick soup?
Right. Favorite soup in general is New England clam chowder.
Okay, I can see that.
But if it is a apocalypse situation, I would prefer to have either tomato soup on hand or chicken noodle.
Well, okay, so here's...
Because both of those I could probably eat cold.
Yes. Weirdly enough, cold chicken noodle. Mine's more of a stew. And meat's always a pain in the ass to store in the apocalypse. Just, obviously for our audience.
I mean, jerky?
I call it Thanksgiving stew. And what it is you take turkey, particularly the white parts, because they're not as moist. I apologize to anyone that prefers the white parts, but I'm a dark meat guy. And you effectively make it a soup in gravy. Right, and then to make it like a stew, like to thicken it out, you toss the stuffing in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, that's definitely a good way to use your Thanksgiving leftovers. We've been wondering what happened to Uncle Brian. He should have been far from where the bombs fell, but no one knows for sure. It would be great to find out. He always looked on the bright side of life, so maybe we should too, but it's not easy. Say, didn't we have a photo of him tucked away in one of the books at home?
Weird fact.
Yes.
Is like Moo has more pictures of me than my parents.
Alright, and so we are left with no photos, no news, and no happy thoughts. The world is too cruel. Dolores needs more time to rest. She seems exhausted. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy is no longer thirsty, and Timmy has rested. Timmy, our savior! Timmy, time for another expedition, my boy! Timmy noticed his old telescope in a pile of rubble on the other side of the street. He got really excited about stargazing again. After all, the night sky is one of the very few things that still look about the same after the blast. Should we let Timmy go out and stare pointlessly at the sky? No, we need him to go on an expedition tomorrow.
No. Yes.
Yes?
He learns how to navigate via the stars.
But what if he gets jumped by bandits?
Hey, it's worth navigate by the stars, long distances, baby.
All right, Timmy, you're in good health. Don't die.
Okay, Timmy's crazy. This is on me.
No, he's just dirty. Timmy returned in the morning, tired but very happy. He says he saw a spaceship flying by, one with an American flag on it. Surely that can't be true. He's probably making things up. Time to grow up, Timmy. But Timmy is pretty fatigued. Timmy is good. Well, at least he was 5 minutes ago. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. Dolores would really love to eat something. Timmy, take... Oh, yeah, the rifle's still good.
I'm telling you, Timmy's the savior, man. Oh, hail Timmy.
Timmy! All right. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. Dolores is no longer hungry. Time to ration supplies. We're good. A sleazy-looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal for just 1 can of soup. We get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. Should we make a deal?
So the future still has loot boxes.
It's true. It's just that we didn't have a can of soup to turn over. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage without whatever junk is in that mysterious bag. Dolores is still tired and can't seem to sleep it off. We can keep sitting here on our backsides, keep our eyes and ears open. We don't have a radio, though.
I say that if we hear that phone again, like, someone's got to make it out.
There's one thing we need to do. It's use a radio in emergency. I think if we do this again, we need to bring a radio with us. So.
Well, listen, audience. If you have any sort of, like, preparedness for this sort of scenario,
yep.
If you don't have a radio, like, yes, you're on the ground or whatever. If you don't have a radio, why not?
Yeah, if you can get one of those hand crank models that, like, you power yourself or whatever.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, they're cheap AF. And, well, less now with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they serve their function. And the hand crank option is amazing.
True.
Honestly.
Dolores has finally rested, and there has to be some water left. Dolores should get it. All right. Little bit of water for Dolores. Damn!
Thirsty, thirsty Dolores.
Ever since we jumped into our fallout shelter, we've been wondering about that other door in the shelter. Should it even be here? Where does it lead? It's high time we checked it out, but we don't have a flashlight and the gun is with Timmy.
How do you have a mystery door in your fallout shelter? Watch, food, like all the stuff.
Probably. Some things are better left untouched and unknown. Whatever is behind that door will have to stay there. We also stacked some furniture against it, just to be sure nothing and no one comes through them. Dolores is no longer thirsty.
Watch, the call has been like, hey,
Yeah.
it's your U.S. government calling, just to let you know.
No,
That
you know what it
door-
is? We're going to go out to that phone booth and be like, hello, can you help us? Hello. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. No!
I will find a way to read through this screen.
Being safe down here is much better than being pulverized out there, but that doesn't mean we don't want to go outside. Maybe we could take a walk soon. The neighborhood is probably much more peaceful since the bombings. I want cake.
Okay, I don't know if post-production the YouTube can hear this, but this song has my inner theater kid just like
A flashlight. Soup. Water. Timmy's back. Hopefully the
Timmy,
time...
our savior.
I know, right? Hopefully the time to leave will come soon. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. On the edge of town, there used to be a big parking lot. Now it looks more like a junkyard. Most vehicles are completely wrecked or burned down. We figured it was still worth checking out. Under the burnt remains of a picnic table, we found some bottled water. Those bottles were not in the best state, but the contents looked perfectly drinkable. It seems like the bomb interrupted someone's picnic. Thankfully, they were big fans of tomato soup, and the indestructible cans were scattered all around the parking lot. In one of the trunks, we found a leather suitcase. It's almost untouched. We're a bit disappointed there was nothing inside, but the suitcase alone will do just fine. And there was a really nice motorbike standing a bit to the side next to the car wrecks. Or rather, it used to be nice. There's not much left of it now. Upon inspecting the bags attached to the bike, we found a working flashlight. So much for our rifle. It got damaged during our expedition. We believe that our expedition to the wasteland must have been followed by strangers. We should be more cautious next time. Dolores would really love to eat something, Timmy should eat something, and Timmy is really tired. Time for a feast.
I mean, like, listen, you gotta take your moments where you get them.
Actually.
Right. Mental health is physical health.
Dolores seems to be in good health. Let's go ahead and send her out now. We didn't expect to get a phone call so soon after the atomic bomb drop, yet here we are. We can clearly hear a phone ringing outside. All right, Dolores.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Like, because now I'm curious. They keep calling.
Day 30. We've survived a month so far.
Oh, Ted is dead.
Well, he's been dead.
I know. I'm being facetious. Playing to the himbo.
That's right. When we answered the phone, we could barely hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. Da, 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 da. We had started exchanging.
I imagine like 3 people in our audience got that.
We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they will get back to us. Timmy should eat something, and Timmy still hasn't rested. Dolores is no longer hungry. Time to ration supplies. A little bit of food for Timmy since he's a hungry growing boy. Dolores, we're sending you out with the briefcase.
What's in the briefcase?
Well,
God, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
briefcase or the lock?
Oh, see, that's a tough one because you know with this type of game, the lock is like it's the surprise event.
I was gonna say it's never come up yet.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so it's either flashlight. I don't. I don't know what to tell you. Flashlight. My I'd like to survive in a post-apocalyptic brain.
Flashlight it is. Day 31. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Timmy is very hungry, and Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. He needs a few days rest. All right, Timmy, a little bit more soup for you.
It's not like you're doing anything.
Yeah. Our last expedition brought news of a vehicle parked just down the street. It sure looked unique, but we never got close enough to get a good look. We're almost certain it's not a bandit trap. Perhaps we should send someone over to check it out. Do we send Timmy the Savior, or do we wait for Dolores to come back?
Oh, God. You know what, Timmy, despite the gun being damaged, Timmy's done well so far. And, like, bandits are going to hang out where they think there's going to be traffic. Right? We've been pretty good about not going out. There's not been a lot of traffic.
But on our last expedition, it did warn us that...
Strangers.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, like, look. It's like a 45-year period before the minimum, before the radioactivity, like, really settles down. we're dead already. So I say, you know,
All right,
play it
Timmy,
up to
go
what
check it
our-
out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
A shocking discovery. It was a dirty ice cream truck. It was a little crispy around the edges, and it was also missing wheels and some other crucial parts, but the seats were fairly comfortable. Wouldn't it be amazing to just drive away and leave this radioactive hell behind us? Timmy is no longer hungry, Timmy is rested, and Timmy prefers apple juice, but right now we should get him some water. Alright, a little bit of water for Timmy. We were about to go to sleep when we heard someone knocking on the door. Who could it be at this hour? Who could it be in this part of the wasteland? How in the hell did they survive the nuke? Should we open it?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Bandits aren't gonna knock, or if they are, I mean, really, that'd be a clever way for them to get in, but like...
Alright.
Dolores. Look, it's the 40s, everybody knocked. Well,
True.
maybe the 50s, still.
We opened the hatch, but there was nobody there. Damn pranksters making jokes even after the apocalypse. Everybody's fine. No radio. What is this? Oh, that's the ice cream truck.
There you go.
Await further instructions from the friendly Wastelanders, which was the phone. Acquire radio to make further contact with the military. Make contact with Wastelanders. Yep. Okay.
So realistically, we should have answered the phone, like, right away.
Well, chances were 50-50, and
No,
it was
I'm-
very
I'm
irradiated out
with
there
you.
still.
Wow, that's just it. It's like, you don't... A radiated dust is the death of you.
Yep.
Duct tape, don't go outside, like... If you can, stay indoors.
Yeah. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio. Yeah. No news is good news. There's nothing new going on with Timmy. Huzzah. That means at least one
Are
more
we
day.
supposed to, like, click something to use the radio?
Well, we don't have a radio is the problem.
Oh...
Like,
I
it's
thought we had
popped
a
up
radio.
as an option, but we don't have one, and we haven't found one, unfortunately.
I thought we had a radio.
Yeah. We always thought life could be much better. That was before we got nuked. Now we think life could be much better. In a way, not that much has changed. Hopefully Dolores comes back tomorrow. Nope, no Dolores. What we make of today will be our tomorrow, so let's make it right. Timmy doesn't need much, but he should drink, and Timmy should eat something.
Well, I mean, he's the only one here, so, like, I guess.
Yeah. A little bit's not gonna hurt. The lock! We were about to go to sleep when we heard scratching coming from the door. At first it sounded like an angry rat trying to eat the damn thing. We soon discovered it was something much worse. Someone's on the other side of the door trying to pry it open. We need to act. Lock her up.
Unlock. Yeah. Did you not click the lock to...
Oh, I clicked the lock. We didn't think that a small padlock would stop them, but it turned out to be enough to discourage the unknown attackers. It seems that they gave this whole break-in a fair shot, but ultimately gave up and left. Too bad that padlock is in no shape to be used again. We need to think of other ways to fight off the bandits and other soup-hungry barbarians. We don't think Dolores is coming back from the surface. It's been too long.
Would they, like, grab her as soon as she came out, or was it Dolores trying to get in?
Maybe. Timmy is no longer thirsty. Timmy is no longer hungry. Surviving the apocalypse is no easy task, and we can tell you that much. We spent 36 days in our shelter. And it's over.
Man, like, honestly, I feel like we did not do well. 36 days? That's nothing.
Yep. Well, 3 out of 4 expeditions were successful, except for that last one. But there we go. We survived 36 days after surviving 0 days previously. So that's quite an uptick. But I wouldn't mind going ahead and checking this game out again. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. First time, technically. But 12, thank you so much for joining and hanging out with me. As you guys can see on screen, you can go ahead and find all of 12 socials at 12SidedGuy online. That's TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch links, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
and of course,
12SidedGuy.online is the URL.
Of course, you can go ahead and find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ Merlin_Sensei, on Twitter at Merlin Sensei, and all that good stuff. And don't forget to go ahead and follow this channel that you're watching right now, the Nerdgasm Inc. YouTube channel, and go ahead and check out our Twitter at Nerdgasm Inc. N3RDGA5MINC, and of course listen to our podcast that you can find on Spotify. All you need to do is look up Nerdgasm N3RDGA5M, and it should show up there on Anchor, Google Podcasts, and just about anywhere where you can find podcasts, and you can even see us interacting with each other on our podcast videos on this channel.
Yes. There's that, but also we spell it just a little bit slower for some of our audience, because
that's right,
nerds.
N3RDGA5MINC.
Thank you.
There you go. So thank you all once again for coming and hanging out with 12 and I. Until next time, bye for now.
Take care from your tabletop.